a minute. Apparently not. So we're live. But of course, nobody's on just yet because we're still early. I just wanted to make sure that we were angled correctly. Okay, so no, stay still. I still have half an hour. I just wanted to make sure I was on. It's not now. Hello, who's on with me? I can't see who my participant is. Hi guys. I'm just trying to set up, make sure that our live is going to be live this time. Oops, cut my music. Can you see? Can you see? No. This is not going to be the easiest thing to organize. Something's gotta break. Hey, Martel. How you doing? Hi. We need to see more of your paintings in the WhatsApp chat. You need to pay more attention in the WhatsApp chat and show us what you've been doing. I wanted to do like a little feature for you on Facebook. Can you hear me okay? So I needed you to send me your paintings, okay? If you can hear some talking in the background. Okay, good. Can you hear me? Oh, good. Okay, great. So I'm just setting up. We're still very early, but in the meantime, I can show you the paints that I'm going to be using. Like, who cares? So these are the colors that I'm going to be using today. So we've got some white. We're going to use a lot of white, fair amount of blue, and a ton of black. So I hope you guys got that. And if you are using purple, I know I said purple, so that's just to give you guys an option. So all of this is done with black and blue, but today I'm going to actually try to go with a more purple tinge to my sky and to my sea. These are the brushes I'm going to be using today. So I'll show everybody this later, but since you guys are on early, you get the early bird peak. You can also use a fan brush, but you don't have to. And a medium-sized brush. And you will also need your smallest head. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. So in the meantime, let's get some music going, okay? How's the music sound? I know sometimes it's a bit distorted, so let me know what that sounds like to you guys. I see we've got two people. So I saw Martel. So who's the other person? So your moon's going to be about here. So I'm going to grab a drink. It's a little too loud? Okay. Hold on. On my iPad over here. Okay, how's that? So I turned it down. So I hope that's good. And I'll also be doing a Facebook Live. So Facebook Live is probably going to look better if you can find me. Just look for Nicole Georges on Facebook. And you're gonna probably get a more steady stream because I notice here it's a little bit jerky. And it's probably just because of my my internet speed here. But it's still be a little too loud. So how have you been doing? You don't see much of you. What's going on? What's happening with you? We've loved the paintings that you've shown us so far. So I would really love for you to send them to me so I can share them with everybody. I don't know if you are aware that we now have a Facebook page. So it's called TLC Arts. So you can look us up and you can see that I've been posting everybody's paintings. I think including yours. So I would love to be able to feature you because you're doing some things that are kind of outside of what we're doing. So it's always good to have something new and diverse to show. So I'm gonna pop off, grab a drink or something, and then I'll be right back. Okay? So hopefully you can enjoy the painting right now. I'll just put it down here so you can see. There we go. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Dominique? Dominique? So the first thing we have is we're going to work on I'll be doing screens. Screens. Hello, hello. Hi. I see we've got 4 people on. Who's with me today? I'm having my, this is my 3rd cup of coffee, so I'm nice and hyper. Who's on with me? Just what you do, Lord, I look to you. My help comes from. Give me vision, see just like you do. You've got a few minutes. Hello to Facebook family and friends. So we are just getting set up for our class for today. So I hope that you're excited to see what we're going to be doing today. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm just having my third cup of coffee. So I'm nice and hyper. We're actually going to get started at 2. So if you've still got stuff that you'd like to go do and come back, feel free. Do I have anybody on with me? Yes, yeah. Hmm? And hello to everybody at TLC Arts on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. So we're going to be doing this beautiful moonlight over the ocean today. How's my framing? Okay. Yes. So remember, we want to get just this section right here, really. It's our focus. So I'll just show you the brushes that I'm going to be sort of experimenting with today. So we have one big brush that's going to be for our background. Got a medium-sized brush, takes care of everything in the foreground and for more detailed stuff. And I've got my smallest brush, which is for the very fine details. And I also have a fan brush. Now, you don't need to have this for this particular painting, but if you're really good at doing clouds and you're very comfortable, then you can also use a fan brush. I'm told that it's really good for doing that. I haven't really done too much experimentation myself, but we're gonna have some fun today. How's everybody doing? Did you see the snow outside for those of us who are in Toronto? Oh my goodness. Winter is trying to hold on to us. And we're ready to let it go. So I do hope that if you are looking at me on the TLC Arts channel on YouTube, can you let me know how our stream is? I'm sorry for the extra noise. That's going to be gone in a minute. So yeah, if you can let me know how our stream is, and if you're able to see everything clearly. I hope it's not too jerky. It might depend on your internet speed. And on Facebook, I know everybody's good on Facebook. How was your week? So we're just waiting until 2 o'clock and then we'll actually dive right in. 2 o'clock is when our class actually starts. And again, it's with the Toronto, the Lakeside Church. And we offer an art class, usually held at a community center, but due to all of the changes that have happened recently, we're now going strictly online, of course, keeping everybody safe and also following the provincial guidelines for health and safety. So we're taking to all of our media platforms to make sure that everybody can still paint and have some fun with us and relax. So my friend and teacher partner, Joan, is we are coordinators. I would say we are your I wouldn't say teachers exactly because we're not formally trained, but we are both art enthusiasts and we love art and we love experimenting with art and sharing that with everybody. So this is a great opportunity for us, thanks to the Lakeside Church, that we're getting to do this with all of you. And I hope that it helps to create an interest in you for doing some art. And art can be easy. Art can be easy. Art is fun. Art is creative. And God has blessed us with so many gifts. And for many of us, we've never even tried to do these type of things because we think, it's so hard. It looks so complicated. But it's always great to try and stretch your borders a little bit and give it a try. It doesn't hurt to give it a try, and you might surprise yourself. So go for it, I say. So I'm really happy that you're here with me today. So who's on with us today? I've got my loyal husband and producer and director.
Gunther.
Hi, Gunther.
No, Butler.
Hey, Nate, how are you? Miguel, that's my neighbor. Hi, neighbor. Hi.
Daryl.
Hi, Daryl.
Will Richard. And Sean Philippians.
Okay.
Jones.
Teacher Joe, nice.
Manual,
Hi.
Maxwell,
Hey, Ethan. Hey, cuz, what's up? You doing good?
Robinson,
Hi, Kurt. Wow. I haven't heard these names in such a long time. It's good to see you guys.
Sarah Jean Baptiste.
Hi. Dominic Chair. Sakafet. Thank you guys for joining me today. It's so nice to have you all on with me. And I hope that you enjoy our little relaxation that's coming up. So this is, I call it an art appreciation class because, as I said before, we're not professionally trained, but we love art and we love sharing our love of art. So thank you. I hope you find this relaxing, especially in these difficult times that we've got going on. And art is a great way to unwind, to de-stress, and just enjoy some good vibes, some good positive vibes.
Sarah
Yeah.
says, hey Nicole, nice paint.
Thank you, thank you. So, oh, I should say that this painting was originally done by a YouTube painter, and painting by Shiba. It's Shiba. If you ever wanted to go check it out for yourself on YouTube, does these very quick, complicated looking, but pretty easy to do if you follow step by step. So YouTube is, of course, as we know, an incredible resource, and especially for up and coming artists. And if pretty much anything you want to learn to do, you could probably find on YouTube. So I do use a lot of YouTube bloggers and artists as my inspiration. So this is based off one of Painting by Shiva's moonlit paintings or moonlight paintings. So mine does look a little bit different because, that's a qualified professional artist. So I've just done sort of my variation on it, and which is fine. And everybody, just explore your own talent and your own creativity, and you can add things to paintings, take things out. It's not a big deal. So this is what we're going to be working on today. Teacher Joan, just please keep an eye on our WhatsApp group and let me know if there are any questions that folks are asking. Hi, Noreen and Savannah. Hi, guys, and welcome to Anissa. She's new with us today. Hello, Anissa. So thank you guys for joining me. So we could get started. It's 2 o'clock, right on time. So welcome to TLC Art Class, and today we will be doing Moonlight Over the Ocean. And I hope that everybody's good and ready. And even if you're just joining me just to, check out the art, it's really great to have you. Thank you. I hope you find it enjoyable and relaxing and, just a great way to kind of de-stress after the end of what I'm sure was a challenging week. So today, what we are going to be doing is a painting based off of a YouTube artist, Painting by Shiba. And we are going to be working with a number of brushes today. So I've got one large brush. Hope everybody can see that. So I've got one large brush. This is going to be for our general background, our sky, our ocean. I've also got a medium-sized brush. That's for when we come to do some coloring in our clouds. And I also have a small brush for the fine details. I also have a fan brush, and the reason I have the fan brush is just so that I can show you that you can also do clouds with your fan brush. I'm not going to be using this predominantly today, but if you do have one and you would like to experiment with it, feel free. Teacher Joan is actually the expert on fan brushes, so I'm going to leave it to her to maybe one day do a tutorial on the best way to use your make use of your fan brush. But you can also use this for clouds. So we're going to start off with our blank canvas. What I'm going to ask you to do, and if I'm going too quickly, Joan, just hit me up, let me know. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw in our horizon line. Now, we will be painting over our horizon line a little later, but we just want to have a frame of reference, a point of reference, so we know where to put our moon. So I would say about halfway down your canvas, you want to draw in your horizon line. Okay, so everybody's got that? I'm going to try to go a little slower because I know sometimes I move a bit fast. So we've got that done out of the way. And before actually we go further, because this is also a ministry work, we also want to have our devotional for the day. And our devotional ties in with our painting. So we always try to find a devotional that is that's got a theme that's similar to what we're going to be painting today. So I'm going to ask my husband Dalton to come in a few minutes and to read our devotional for today. So in the meantime, just get set up with getting your canvas done and getting your horizon line drawn in. Other thing I should do, Dalton, while you get organized, I'm going to show you what paints we're actually going to be using today. So we are going to be using a ton of black, and I mean a ton of black, because we're going to be doing both our sky and our sea in black. In this one, I did use blue as my other main color. Just for difference, I am going to go with more of a purple tone today. So I am going to be using purple. If you do not have purple, you can always make your purple with red and blue. And you can add a little bit of black to it to get deeper tones if you want to. However, for this painting, I'm just going to be using purple and black. If you still want to use blue to get this exact painting, then you can just use your blue. Just regular blue is fine, primary blue. The other color that we're also going to be using a lot of is white. So we're going to be using a ton of white as well, and that's going to be for our moon and our clouds, and also our highlights on our ocean. So Dalton is just getting set up right now to come and give us our devotional. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to start prepping my paints. So I love to recycle things, so I use styrofoam trays, right? So I get fruit in these, or peppers, or herbs, that sort of thing. I just wash them out and use them. So I'm going to use a fair amount of blacks. I would say maybe about a toonie size. So for our non-Canadians, that's our $2 size. And if you want to use blue to do a painting similar to this, feel free, go ahead. You're going to add a similar amount of paint, similar amount of your blue, or in my case, purple, to your black. Dalton, are you good to go? Right. All right. So while we're waiting for him, tell you what, why don't we just dive right in? So I don't know if you can see this, probably not. So I've got my purple and black mixed together. Now what you want to do is you actually want to leave the space for your moon. Hi, Christine. Hi. You want to leave the space for your moon. So my black has taken over my purple, so I'm going to add a bit more purple to it because I want to have that undertone. Black will do that to you. Black will absorb anything. You need your phone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to put in our sky while you get organized. Now, what you want to do is when you are painting, we're going to paint left to right in this case. We're going to leave the space for our moon, and that will just be about an inch above our horizon line. So just about an inch there. Because we're going to fill in that area with some clouds, and we want to show that the moon is close to our horizon line. So about half an inch to an inch. So we're going to come like this, right? Just come across like this. All the way down. So you can actually, probably easiest thing to do is just kind of map out where you think your moon is going to be. So I'm going to go for a big moon. I can't draw a circle, y'all. So. But fortunately, that's not going to be a big deal today. We're going to map out where your moon is going to be. And then you're going to paint around that and bring the color all the way down, all the way across. So I've got a lot of black, and I'm not seeing too much of my purple tone, so I'm going to go back in later on and put in some purple, some more purple. Actually, it is coming through, so I'm good. So remember, you want to map out the place where your moon is going to be. For blending, you want to go lightly. So you want to move your hand lightly and not apply too much pressure. All the way to the end of your canvas. I hope my music's not too loud, everybody. Now, as much as I'm not going all the way down to my horizon line, we actually are going to cover up our horizon line. But we'll come back in after we've done our devotional. I'm just trying to work quickly so that we can get that going. We always want to start the right way by having our devotional. You're actually going to bring your paint down to about maybe 2 inches past your horizon line. You want to go around your moon. Don't cover over your moon. Okay. Once you've got your sky laid in, as I said, you want to bring down the black and blue color, or in my case, black and purple color, down to about 2 inches past, 2 or 3 inches past your horizon line, where you're drawing your horizon line. We will draw it back in later using some white, and that will be to show where the light, the moonlight, is hitting the ocean, the horizon. Doesn't have to be a dead straight line because we're going to be blending it. All right, so while we let that dry, I'm going to let Dalton come now, and he's going to read our devotional for today.
Hello, painters and the TLC family. I'm Nicole's husband, Dalton, long-suffering. Our devotional today comes from faithgateway.com, and it is titled Shine On. It was written by Louis Giglio. It says, try to shine as lights among the people of this world as you hold firmly to the message that gives life. Philippians 2, verse 15 and 16. There's a lot of talk about moonlight and how it lights up the night, but actually there's no such thing as moonlight. The moon doesn't really shine at all. Rather, when it's in just the right place, the moon reflects the sun's light. The sun is the real star of the show, no pun intended. The sun gives off light, which means it's luminous, but the moon is illuminated, which means it's lit up by reflecting the sun's light. On July 21st, 1960, first man ever to walk on the moon. He was part of NASA's Apollo 11 space mission. He stepped out of his spacecraft, the Eagle. Says your battery's running low. You need to plug this thing in.
Okay.
He stepped out of his spacecraft, the Eagle, and said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Everybody remembers those words. And because the moon has no wind, his footprints are still there. People are a lot like the moon. What, you mean round and spacey? Not quite, but just as the sun's light reflects into the darkness, when the moon is in just the right place, God's light also reflects into this world's sin-filled darkness. When you are in the right place, being in the right place means following Jesus. When you follow Jesus, you reflect his light, his love, goodness, grace, kindness, and power into the lives of those around you. You're called to do, although it does take practice. Study his word, the Bible. Listen to those who teach about him, and talk to him in prayer every day. Your prayers don't have to be fancy, long, or eloquent. Say thank you when you see one of God's gifts. Tell him that you love him, or simply whisper, "I don't know what to do, Lord, help me." When you do this, you shine Jesus into the world. And our prayer for today is, "Dear God, help me stay close to you, so that your light always shines on me, and help me reflect your light into the world. In Jesus' name, amen." Thank you guys for listening, and here's Nicole.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dalton. I hope you guys enjoyed that inspirational devotional. It's connected to. No, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we're good. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. So I just want to say hi. While I was listening, I was also able to check out some of our Facebook friends and Al. Hi, Al from Green Island Delights. I think is the name of his bakery. Yeah, baking business. And Al is just a fabulous cook and baker. So I just wanted to big him up and to say, thank you so much for watching, Al. It's so nice to see you online. And Rabia, wow, neighbor, hi. So good to see all of you guys. Thank you. My girl Diane from Kyrie. I think it's about time Kyrie had a reunion. All, not the new guys. I don't really know the new guys, but all the old ones. Gavi and Alex and from back in the day, right? No disrespect to the new people. I'm just saying it would be nice for all of us to hook up again, and maybe we can do a Zoom reunion or something. So, to get back to what we're doing now, Fisherman's Delight, I think, is a wonderful name for painting out. Thank you for that. So, what we're going to do is we are going to finish our sea, and then we're going to come back in and start working on our sky. So, again, if you are working with blue, you are going to now add some more blue to just a little bit of your black. So, you're going to just sort of take a little section from your black area. You're going to add your blue to that. I'm going to add purple because that's what I'm working on today. You have a choice. You can either move from sort of like your blue black into light blue, which is showing the that you get to your shoreline. If you actually want to include sand, you can do that. The way you would do sand is you would actually instead of bringing your blue all the way down, you would use perhaps a tone of yellow or brown, because you also want to remember that this is a nighttime painting. So it won't be, the golden brown that you would see or white that you would see in the daytime. So it would be a tone darker. So you can actually put that in, and then you would bring some of your blue color over that. So I won't be exercising that option today. I'm just going to go with the sea.
Angela Shepherd is watching.
Hi, Angela. Hi. All the way from Newfoundland. Hi. And my boy Dante. How's my son? So you're going to take your next color, which will be your black mixed with either your blue or in my case, purple. And we're going to bring this down. I do not know what is up with this weather. We started off with what looked like a blizzard this morning, no lie. And now we've got sunshine. Oh no, actually it's snowing again. It is snowing again. And it's pretty vigorous too. It's like storm. Like there was actually hail at one point here in Scarborough. It's crazy. So you want to bring that color down just about just a few inches down, a few centimeters down. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pick up a little bit of black again. I did say we'd be using quite a bit of black. You're going to add more of your blue or your purple color to that, but you want less black in this part. And I'm going to bring mine down to just about another inch, and then I'm going to go with an even lighter color. I might add some white to that. So what you're basically showing is that you're moving away from your horizon where the darkest water will be to the eye. Joan, how are things in our art WhatsApp group? Everybody's good? If I'm going too fast, please let me know and I will go over it again. Hi, Michelle and Quinton. Hope you guys are safe on the road right now. I pray that you are. And I'm glad to hear that you'll be painting later. That's wonderful. It's a great idea. I wish I could get Dalton to paint with me. He says no, categorically. Refuses. Right. So now to that lighter mixture, I'm going to add just a touch of white, and that's going to be the end of our painting. And you do the same. So that color, that last color that you just used, you can just add a touch of white to it. And as I said, if you really want to do sand, then this is the point where you would do your sand. And we will do some more. We will do some more sea beach type paintings. So I will show you how to do sand one day, God willing. Feedback.
Diane Roberts is very excited about the Kyrie Posse reunion.
Oh, sir. Yeah, you need to call Garvey and these guys, man. Hook us up, Diane. Hook us up. Gotta give a shout out to all of our Kyrie folks. It would be ideal if we could do it in Dominica. That would be awesome. So you'll notice that on mine, my light color is a bit, oh, actually, sorry. Just realizing that, there we go. So you'll notice this color is a bit of a dramatic changeover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring a little of this black down into just a little touch of it so that there's less of a hard demarcation between the different sections. You want it to be a gradual blend. So I'm just going to bring that down a little. Now this is a dark painting, but I think it's a great foil for our Moonlight. When we start layering in our white, it's going to be a very dramatic change, I hope.
Seraphine Jean-Louis. Louis.
Hello. All right, there we go. So I think that's a lovely blend for me, and I hope it is for you as well.
Alex wants to know if you painted the one above.
Yes, yes, I did, Alex. Is that Alex Bruno or Alexi? Oh, Alexi, yeah. Yes, I did. So, in case you're just joining me, this painting is actually a version of a YouTube artist, um, her creation, and her YouTube channel is Painting by Shiba. That's Shiba. So, this is just sort of my take on her very beautiful Moonlight on the Ocean painting. So it's not exactly, it's not an original by me, just to clarify that. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for a little bit. You can rinse out your brushes now. I think I'm right. Yep. So what we're gonna do is while we let this dry, is we're gonna come back and start working on our moon. And then we will work on our clouds. Now, clouds are my nemesis. I have lots of nemesis. Nemesis.
3 thumbs up from Alex.
Thank you, babes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go with our medium-sized brush. Joan, okay, WhatsApp is pretty quiet. Everybody's focused on their painting. Great. So if anybody has any questions, maybe if I'm moving a bit fast, students, just please let Joan know, and she'll give me the heads up, you know. So I'm going with my medium-sized brush. Now we are going to be using a lot of white. If you do have a different palette, so for example, I'm just going to be swapping out my styrofoam trays, and again, I tend to do a bit of recycling, not as much as I would like to, but I do recycle my fruit trays and herb trays, peppers, you know, things that you get in these styrofoam trays, anything that's not meat, obviously. So I reuse these as my paint palettes. And for my water tubs, I go with yogurt tubs. I find they're a good size, so that's what I do. So, sorry, could you pass me one of my other styrofoam trays behind you or in front of you? I need one for what? So you're going to need a completely separate section for your white paint, because at no point do you want to mix your white paint with your dark. Well, eventually you will, because we will do some shades of gray, but for now, thank you. You want to go with white, your white. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the heaviest portion of white in your center, and you're just going to work that out until you get sort of a circular shape. So what we're doing, and let me just draw this a little closer. I hope everybody on Facebook can see this too. So we're going to start off with our heaviest white here, and then we're going to go out. We're just going to, using the same brush, using the same amount of paint, we're just going to start making sort of these circles. I've lost my English. Shadows, I suppose. We're going to start working out our white from the center. So as you get to the furthest areas away from the center, you're going to have less paint, but that's actually what gives it that sort of glow effect. So that's what you want. So we're going to go with our white.
Joan says yes, she did.
She did what? Oh, yeah. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Ryan is also a very talented artist in his own right. He's an actor, playwright. I'm not sure if there's anything you don't do, Ryan, but he is, I think, originally from Guyana. So you can correct me on that one. So it's good to have fellow artists, even in different genres, popping by to say hi. I'd like to say a special hello to Pastor Sabrina, and I don't know if Pastor Brian is watching as well, but thank you so much for allowing us to have this initiative for the TLC Arts Ministry. We're so grateful to you for allowing us to explore this, and I think we're having a lot of fun with it. Okay, so you want to start in your center. You're just going to apply your white, and then you're going to start moving out like this. Now you do want to have a round shape at least. Now as you go out, you are going to start blending out with your black. If your sky is still damp, you will probably end up with more shades of gray towards the outer ends, but that's okay. So you want to get in your round shape. I know mine's not fully round, but don't mind me. You just do what I say, not what I do. If you've got a bit too much white, just wipe it off. And now you're going to start going on the outside because you're going to start getting that lovely glow effect. There we go. Hope I'm not blocking everybody.
Arturo Valentino's on. Carol Thomas.
Hi guys, hello. Thank you for joining us. There you go. And as the further you go out, it's the less paint you've got, but it also, as I said, it gives you that lovely sort of aurora, whatever it is. Very good. What you do not want is heavy white lines. You want just sort of a gentle glow. So I've got some heavy lines happening, so I'm just going to blend that out using the side of my brush because that is not what I want. If your paint is on too thick, you can add a little bit of water to kind of dab it out, stretch it out a little bit. If it's really on too heavy, you can also use a tiny bit of black and come back in and just sort of cover over the areas that you feel like it's a little too solid. All right? So there. You want to come back into your center and make sure that that's the strongest point of your moon. You want your light to be centered in the center there. Your strongest, your brightest point is right in the middle. Now, as you know, your moon does have certain features. When you look at the moon, it's not just a pure white ball, right? There's all these craters, and I think they call them impact sites from where meteors and things like that have crashed into the moon over the eons. So we're going to, yeah, it's not bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a bit of gray. So just grab a quick dab of your black. On another section of your palette, you're just going to add a little bit of your white to that. Hopefully you still have some left over. And you're going to make gray. And what you're going to do is you're just going to, I think the best way is probably to show you what I've done already. So we're just sort of creating this effect at the top where it looks as though there's some areas of shadowing. So these would be, like sort of like the dips, the craters that are on the moon that aren't picking up the sunlight. Remember, we were talking about in our devotional that the moon is actually reflected sunlight. So we're going to just create some interesting shadows. So you're going to come to the top. Let's go around the.
She says, really looks like a night from one of your stories.
Thank you.
Emily Armstrong is watching.
Hey, Emo News. Emo News. I got to shout out Emo News.
Noel Thomas.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Noel. Hi. So I've got to just pause because Emo News is Emmeline and Anselm. I hope I said your name right. But she has been just forced to be reckoned with in Dominican journalism. And I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to publicly acknowledge her work, especially during Hurricane Maria coverage. And it was just incredible what you did with just your mobile phone on foot going into some of the more heavily impacted areas, and just in general what you've been doing for covering especially the northern communities. And now, of course, she's expanded. She's got her own website, and I just want to say congratulations to you. I'm not aware of if you have any sort of formal journalism training, but you have really risen in excellence in what you do, and I just want to acknowledge that. So check out Emo News.
Vanessa Banks.
Hello, Vanetta. I hope you're enjoying your painting so far. So what I'm doing now is I'm just bringing some shadowing, as I said, along the top area of the moon here. Now remember your shape. Keep your shape. And try to remember where your original shape is, because you don't want to be putting your shadow into your aura area. All right. I hope that we're still on our got 11 people right now on our YouTube channel. If you ever did want to go check us out, go to TLC Arts on YouTube. That's our channel, and you will see some past tutorials as well of some great work that Joan has done and that I've tried to do. So check that out. So we're not going to bring it all the way down. We're just going to come just about maybe about halfway down, and then we're going to look for some little dips, some little dabs along the way. It's all about balance. You don't want to overdo it, but then again, you don't want your moon to be featureless as well. So I know that's a little hard to see, but what I'm going to do is you can also go back in with a tiny little bit more black, and you can sort of dab out some areas as well. And just to highlight your rim area. So there's no real technique to this per se. As I said, I'm just adding some little points of interest to our moon so it doesn't look completely white or blank. And of course, right away, you're probably noticing that there's a difference, because you can never get it the same every time, which I think is what makes painting so interesting. Because we've got maybe about 20 people or so in our class, and each person is doing roughly the same painting. They will each look different. It's incredible to see. Everybody's got just their own interpretation of things. Okay. So I'm going to come back in now with a little bit more black, and I'm going to kind of redefine the shape of my moon without covering over where the aura is, where the aura begins. So you may want to go with your finer brush for this. And this will actually make your moon pop out a little bit more. So I've got some areas that I think are a little too heavy with the white paint. So I'm just going in with the little touch of black that I've got, and I'm just going to try and make it look a little bit more ethereal, transparent. Any feedback there, buddy?
Diane
Mm-hmm.
says she will check out YouTube.
Very good place to start. I can recommend 10-minute paintings by Ryan O'Rourke. The name of his YouTube channel is Stay Creative Paintings. Yeah, Stay Creative Paintings by Ryan O'Rourke. There's also the Art Sherpa. So that's ARTSHERPA, the Art Sherpa. And she's also great for when you're just starting off, or if you're sort of I think you're an average painter, you've got some experience. She does a great range of paintings for every skill level. So she's actually the person that I started painting with. This one, as I said, is painting by Shiva, but there's tons of others. But to get started, I would suggest the Art Sherpa, and also Ryan O'Rourke is really good. So I'm just going back, just bringing out the aura, if you want to call it that. Or I know there's a word for this. I'm just bringing that out just a little bit more because I just want to get that glow effect, sort of soft moonlight glow. All right, so I think we're good for that. So what we're going to do is we're now going to draw back in our horizon line. So for that, I would suggest that you take use your smallest brush, and we're going to go in with our white. I do recommend that you use your ruler for this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to draw in the strongest point of our line right underneath our moon. So I'm actually going to come up here, right underneath our moon. I'm going to allow the paint to sort of dribble a little bit because the moonlight would not be highlighting the entire horizon. It would just be strongest over the point where the horizon is, closest. Yep. Okay. So what we're going to do then is we're going to draw our horizon line in, but once we start getting past this area where our clouds would be blocking the moonlight from hitting the horizon, we're just going to leave little gaps. So it's to show that the moon is sort of like touching some areas, skipping others. All right? Oops. You didn't see that. I saw it. Okay. So again, remember we were just about an inch away from our horizon. I've got paint on my brush. One day my husband is going to come teach because he just likes to coach from the sidelines, but I think it would be better if he just came and showed people himself what to do. You're going to run out of paint towards the end, as I said. It's fine, just come back from the beginning again. Yeah. And you can roll the brush. There you go. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty right there. Now, mine is a little too thick at the end, so I'm going to come back in with some black later on and just sort of thin that out a little bit. So, I think at this point, I guess our sea is a bit dry, so what we could do is we could start working on the highlights of what's coming from the moonlight hitting the areas on our sea. So most of what I guess we call it shimmer will be, of course, directly under the path of the moon there. And we're going to sort of highlight little areas where the moon is touching our sea. For this, you again will be using your small brush. Any feedback? Using our smallest brush, not a whole lot of paint. You don't want too much of the white paint on this. Just dab off any excess. And we're going to come directly under, and we're going to sort of start, think of it as almost a triangular formation. We're just going to do some little strokes right here, show where the moon is hitting the sea. Anything? Dab off any excess. There we go. Right underneath of it. Dab. Roll to a point, roll your brush to a point, dab off any excess. And you're going to want to thin it, come to sort of almost like a bottleneck effect here. I hope somebody's in the kitchen watching the pot. We're making soup today. What's everybody else having for lunch? And all the Caribbean people are having soup. No, they can't come in. Oops. That was a little too heavy. So if you do end up with like some very strong white lines, like what just happened to me, again, you can just come back in with your black a little later on and just ease it over. So I see Christine is also recommending Ryan, right? Ryan O'Rourke? Yep. 10-minute paintings, really good. So we're gonna, as I said, we're coming almost to like a sort of a triangle shape here. And then we're gonna sort of start moving back out now. Think in terms of a triangle, but what we're gonna do is we're going to sort of spread it out a little bit, that it's hitting other areas of the sea.
Cuthbert is on.
Hi, Pastor Cuthbert.
You're looking good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I don't know if it's yours or painting. I'm just assuming it's you.
I'm gonna think it's both, right, Cuthbert? Yeah, you mean me too, right? Cuthbert's a gentleman. So again, we're gonna bring our highlights just sort of at random at this point. Am I on track here, Bert? Am I on track here? These shimmers.
The ones on the moon need to get closer to it.
So
Yeah. We built little sites together so they could
so closest to your moon, you do want your lines to be a bit closer together. And then as you move away, they will space out a little.
Cuthbert said it's both.
I knew it. Thank you, Cuthbert. I appreciate that.
And Lucy is on. We can handle it.
Hi, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. My Hamlet, what's up, man? So we're also going to bring our Moonlight over to this section as well, but not as concentrated as it would be just above. So I know it's looking a bit it's not very clear on the YouTube channel, but I hope on Facebook you can see my little highlights a little clearer. I'll probably try to go a little heavier just for it. So what you're doing here is we're just showing that there's some areas where the moonlight is coming through the clouds, you know, through little gaps in the clouds. And just edging, just touching the edges here. And we bring them all the way down to the shoreline. Now, once you start getting close to the shoreline, what you're going to have is more wave action. So we're going to show a little bit of that. So our lines are going to be a bit longer and sort of more, I guess, wave shaped, if you want to put it that way. So sort of think of little dips and dabs.
Small triangle.
Yeah, small triangles. Yeah, that's a good way. Think of the shape of the waves. And again, they would not be uniform. So even though I've got mine in a line, I'm just kind of thinking of the way the waves look when they come in. So you want to avoid having like a line that's perfectly parallel or perfectly perpendicular, because that's not the way light works on waves, right? And of course, some waves are going to be bigger and so forth. Come back in. Now, when I did the first painting, I actually started off with my clouds. But as I said, clouds are my nemesis. So I got so obsessed trying to get those perfect, I almost lost the energy to to get into the waves. So that's why I'm going to do the waves now. And I'm not saying this to scare you. It's just that clouds do require a bit of skill, and we're all still learning. So don't be too hard on yourself. Okay. Come back here a little bit. So as I mentioned before, if you've got a really thick line on your horizon, you can come back in with a little bit of black and just touch that away so that it's not, that you don't have such a very obvious line, because what we're implying here is just that the moon is touching the horizon. Everybody with me? We're good? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are actually going to start on our clouds. Yay! But what we're going to do is we're actually going to start off with gray as our base. So you are going to mix your white and black. I'm going to use my medium-sized brush for this. What are people saying now? Brush.
So Cuthbert is saying that you're driving at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So you can close or even press. A multi-talented young lady.
Oh dear. All glory to God. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get some gray happening. Got some gray happening. So, and I'm actually going to be using my medium-sized brush. However, you can use your fan brush as well if you're very comfortable using it. And to make the clouds, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make some, how should I say? I'm going to create some cloud-like shapes initially, And then what we will do is we will come back in and edge them with white to show where the moonlight is hitting the clouds. And remember, you do not want to, or you don't necessarily have to have as many clouds as I've got going on here. I'm actually going to be doing less clouds on this one. I kind of went a little cloud happy, but you want to make sure that you've got some transparency happening so that it's not solid white on your night sky. Some of your night sky will be peeking through. So we're going to start with our clouds. If you want to use your fan brush, I can also use the fan brush and just to do like a quick demo. So to do your clouds, you want to think sort of like mountains, layers. So I'm just going to start right here. I'm just going to go up like this, like this, like this, down like this, like this. So I've got a bit, this is a bit strong, stronger than I wanted, so I'm going to add a bit more black to get that shade of gray. Now everybody's got different techniques for doing clouds, and you are more than welcome to explore and to try. Clouds are my nemesis, so if I can get one to work, I'm happy. Waves are also my nemesis, and trees and leaves. I've got a lot of nemesis. Right. So you're just going to lay in that first cloud there, right? So you'll notice I'm kind of scraping back some of the paint as well, so we still get that sort of translucent look. Going back into my gray, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to layer another cloud, different shape, right here. So I'm just going up, down, up, down, up, down. Because, you know, clouds, different clouds have different shapes, obviously, but it really, there's really no set shape to clouds, as far as I'm aware of it. Now you can bring your cloud all the way down to your horizon. But just thinking of where your light is, you don't want to put a cloud that's directly over. Let's say if you've got your moonlight touching your horizon, there wouldn't be a cloud like right there, right? And again, I'm just layering these in. That'll be pretty good. And all I'm doing really is I'm just tapping up and tapping down, tapping up and tapping down. Teacher Joan will probably give us a tutorial in proper cloud making, but this is what we're doing today. Now, we're also going to put some clouds across our moon, because you'll notice that clouds do that as well. So I'm going to put in a cloud right here. Just one or two. So keep to the gray color. And you can make your clouds thick, or you can make them thin. I'm also going to be covering up part of my moon with a cloud. In the interest of time, I won't do as many clouds as I did in the original. But if you really love clouds and you're having a lot of fun, feel free to go ahead and put in as many as you like. So I'm not sure what's happening in your part of the world, but in Toronto, they are actually reopening some stores. It will be curbside service. So today, I believe hardware stores were reopened, and some retail stores will be reopened on Monday. And you know, whether you think it's too soon or it's been too long, I just want to urge everybody to please continue to exercise caution. Wear your mask, practice social distancing, be safe, be responsible. Now, we're also going to put some clouds in on this side of our moon. Again, just up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm just laying in some basic cloud-looking shapes, or what I think clouds would look like. They're coming all the way. So tell me what's happening in your area. Have our businesses reopening? Also going to do some top clouds here. And I'll do a little mid-range cloud. Uh-huh. Hi, Vernelia. How are you? Are they opening up in your area? I'm not sure where you are. Now, a cloud, across the cloud, I'm also adding a little bit of black just so that, and you can also add a little bit of black to some of these clouds in here, and that will help to add some more transparency as well. I hope you're happy with your clouds. As Bob Ross would say, these are happy clouds, happy little clouds. Happy little clouds. My clouds have not been so happy in the past, but I think they're getting happier. All right, these are looking pretty good, I gotta say. I'm having a good cloud day. Yay, hope you are too. Hello to Amma. I hope that she's following with us today and that she's able to join us. All right, so that's as far as I'm going to go with my clouds. So what we are going to do now, as I said, if you wanted to continue and you wanted to layer in more clouds, that's fine, but I don't want to keep you guys for too long. So what we are going to do now is we are going to get some more white and we're going to now edge out the shape of these clouds. To do that, you can continue on with the brush you've got. I'm actually going to switch to my little brush. It may get a little too fiddly, as they say, I believe in Britain. But I'd like to try it out here. Oh, I did say that we could use our fan brush, right? So I'm just going to show you. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use actually the tip of our fan brush. This is sort of like the side. Tap off your excess, and you again can just go up and down like this. And this is how you get the shape of your clouds. Teacher Joan, as I said, is really the person who's very expert at using fan brushes. So later on, she will do a tutorial for us on how you can use your fan brush more effectively. Right. So you can do it like that. So as you can see, what I've done is I've just touched the edge of my cloud just to make it pop so that you can see that that's where the moonlight is. Are you with me, team? So I'm just going to come in here with brush. And again, I'm just following the basic shapes that I just laid in. I'm just tipping the edges of them. Now, one thing to remember is that, of course, the further away from your moon that your clouds are, is the less brightly highlighted they're going to be. So I'm saving the majority of my white paint for the clouds that are closest to our moon. How are we doing over there? So again, I'm just following the basic shapes that I just laid out. And I'm just touching the edges, the top edges of them, to show where the moon is hitting. So for these clouds that are right across the moon, it would be top and bottom. And hopefully you can see that. I know it's probably not the clearest on our YouTube, but hopefully on Facebook you can see it. If any of you are really expert painters, please feel free to hit me up and let me know any tips you'd like to share. I'd be more than happy to include them. So I think I've gone a little too far with mine. I've actually covered over some of my shadowing because I forgot that they weren't clouds. Don't do that. We're just going along the tips of what you've outlined here. Okay. Now I'm also going to do a little bit of blending in here. So the paint that I've used as my edging, I'm also blending it out into the body of the cloud. So that way you get more depth from your cloud. If your paint is already dried, you can just add a little bit of water and then come back in. How are we doing over there? Okay. Oh, hello, Lucia. How are you today?
Great job.
Oh, thank you. How's Hamilton? Are things opening up in Hamilton today? So I'm just blending out the white so that it's not just a harsh edge. So believe it or not, we are getting pretty close to done. We do still have all of these clouds to come back in an edge, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. In the interest of time, I'm not going to do all of mine. So your clouds basically should be a mix of gray, white, and also touches of black of the night sky that's showing through. And remember, the clouds that are closest to the moon would have the most white areas. I hope this is relaxing to you guys. I know everybody's feeling great. So I am working pretty quickly here, but that's just because of the time constraints. But students, feel free to take your time and go back over any clouds that you feel you like to look a little bit better. Just remember, because this is acrylic paint, you can always dab things over, cover things over. Also remember that the further away from your moonlight is, the less intense the light will be, your white will be. And if there's any area you feel is just too white, just come back over with your with some gray, with some black, and just dab that over. Ooh, we're already at 3 o'clock. Running a little behind today, Joe. Sorry. Hope everybody's still enjoying that. So there's some areas that I feel are a bit heavy with the white. I'm going to go back over with black, maybe a little bit later, and just tone it down a little bit. So you can do that as well. If you've got any areas that you feel you're a bit too heavy with your white. These are happy clouds. All right. So I hope you're happy with your clouds, guys. I hope you got. So you can tell right away that this is a very different painting from what we've got going up here. Now I do have darker, much darker tones in this one, and that is why you'll notice that there is a difference. So if you did purple, you're going to end up with a much darker painting. Um, the blue is very nice. It does add that sort of impression of light. I just did this one to have something different to show you today. So because of time constraints, what I'm going to do later on is I'm going to come back out here. I'll show you how. I'm just going to correct one cloud that I think is a little too, it's got a bit too thick of a white line. I'm going to add a touch of black, and I'm just going to come in here and just add a little bit of black. I'm just what you call scrumbling, I guess. Just adding a touch of black here and there, just to tone it down a little bit. Okay. And one final touch, you're going to take your, rinse out any black you might have on that brush there. You're just going to get it to your finest point, take a dab of white, and we're just going to add a few stars. I'm just going to come here, just Some people use the flicking their brush to do that. That's if you really want a very starry sky. And there we go. And of course, your final touch is to add your initials at the bottom. Voila, your masterpiece. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me. It was really fun to have you with me, and I will be back not next Saturday, but God willing, the following Saturday. Next week will be Teacher Joan, who will be taking care of the class and leading us in a very beautiful painting. And I can't wait for you to see that one. So, thank you for joining me. For those of you who are just watching and just stopping by to say hi, really appreciate it. And class students, I hope that you had a good time with this one and that you're happy with your happy clouds. I just want to wish all the mothers a very happy Mother's Day, and to all the special women in our lives who do the nurturing and the caring, whether you're a birth mom, a stepmom, guardian, whoever steps into that role for you. I just want to wish you a very happy Mother's Day. And of course, to say happy Mother's Day to my mom. Hi, mommy. Love you. So have a good one, everybody, and take care, and God bless you.
Okay. Yeah.
On just Facebook, not on the live here. Hi guys on the live. I hope that you had a good time too. So I just signed off on Facebook, but I would like my painting to have a little bit more purple tones to it. So I'm just going to add some more purple. I can't wait to see all of your creations. Teacher Joan, how did we do today? John runs away as soon as it's his part. Yes, I know. Isn't that annoying? Oh my goodness. Then you tell them, okay, you come and do it, and then they're like, oh, nah. The light is really odd because I'm looking at the painting in the chat room in the TLC Arts, and it looks dark, but I'm applying paint. I don't know. Christine, we're waiting for you to step up, man, and come and teach us how to do some of that fabulous African art. We're waiting, Christine. How did your clouds come out? Joan, are people posting as yet in the WhatsApp? I can't wait to see them. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you know what? All glory to God for giving us the ability and the opportunity to do this. It is such an honor. And I'm always sort of a little nervous when I'm coming on because I'm always saying, I hope I can explain it properly and that it's easy to follow. So thank goodness for that. Thank you, Joe. And I really hope so. Not on WhatsApp yet. Come on, guys. You don't want to wait in vain for your paintings. So yeah, so I applied a bit more purple because I really wanted this to be kind of a purple tone. The black completely swallowed up my purple, there's some little hints here, but it's too subtle for you to see on the camera. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you. Sometimes when you're painting, I'm actually taking a break because I know it's my turn. But then I catch up later. I paint. I come on and I paint with your tutorial afterwards. Where is my whites? Oh, sorry, in front of me. You had so many clouds are not your friends. Clouds are your friends. They're happy clouds. Own your clouds. They're happy clouds. And you can't say clouds are not your friends because they're already my nemesis. So I've taken claim to clouds as my nemesis. So sorry. Come on, Martel, you can do it. Joan is going to teach us how to make amazing clouds. Aren't you, Joan? The next time I do a beach, it's going to be daytime. So we got some beautiful colors there too. Some beautiful springtime, summertime colors, sometimes summertime colors. I think I've done a lot of night skies. So yeah. Martel, you made me laugh with that one. Clouds are not your friends. That's right. Tell him, Joan, believe in your clouds. No, Martel, seriously though, clouds were tough for me until Joan showed me a few tricks, and then I just realized I just had to let it go. I just had to not try to make these super perfect clouds that everybody else was doing. I'm just gonna try, but do the best I can, and I mean these came out pretty good today. So sometimes you hit it, sometimes you won't. The idea is not to get stressed out about it. Okay, so I'm just doing some little blending. All right, guys. I'm hungry. I've got to go grab some lunch. But thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed your moonlight over the ocean, and that I'll post the devotional as well once I get a chance. So have a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, grandmoms, stepmoms, all the mother figures in our lives. Happy Mother's Day to them, and God bless you. And I will be joining you for service online tomorrow. All right. Take care. I think I still prefer the blue actually. I think I got a better moon, better clouds. You're not camera shy, Christine. And if you want, all you have to do is just focus the camera on the canvas. It doesn't have to be on you. It would be lovely to see you while you're teaching, but we would really love for you to take over one of our class times, and we're very very impressed. June and I are just like amazed at what you guys have been able to do. So please consider it, and if anybody feels that they would like to show us how they do one of their paintings, something that's aside from what we've got in our own little curriculum, let us know, and we'll try to see if we can get that organized for you. So Christine, you're next. You're next, girl.